And anyway, but it's good. The gig's up and running. Everybody's playing, at full tilt now, and it's just a fantastic gig for me. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's got so much character. It's got light and shade. It's got, quiet bits and loud bits. It just doesn't go straight through all the way. And I think there's something irreplaceable about the four people that wrote and recorded those songs playing them again. There's some sort of chemistry, there's some sort of magic. Quite how to define it more than that, I wouldn't know. But there's just some magic in the air which makes it sound like Quo heavy. And I'd forgotten how heavy the band was in the 70s. I mean, it was a heavy band. And I'd forgotten that, and it really, it's a turn on.
If it is magical, as you say, why bring it to an end? Why make Dublin the last ever frontic show? Is it just Dublin Town?
I've been told this. Not my decision. I see the posters, the final fling, whatever it is, or the final tour, and I got on to management and I said, nobody phoned me and said, look, would you like this to be the last time? Oh well, we'd spoken to promoters, we'd spoken to agents, and I said, yeah, you don't speak to me. I mean, how about my opinion on it, whether I want it to be the last tour? And I was pretty annoyed about it. But apparently, to me, the first tour was platinum. This tour is definitely shiny gold. It's brilliant. I wouldn't want it to go to silver and to bronze. But having said that, I mean, there's so much more we could put in. I mean, there's a lot of songs from the 70s that people are still screaming for. And we could change the set. We could extend 4,500 times. And in my book, we could do more. So we shall see. I mean, Hell Freezes Over, does that come to mind? Eagles, So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because if I had my way, there would be more.
Is it fair to say that if you had your way, there would be more, but Francis is probably the person who is not king?
Well, Francis doesn't seem to be enjoying the tour as much as I do, certainly. Why, I don't know. It's best not to talk about it between him and I, Everybody on the tour is loving it. All the road crew are coming up and saying, what a gig, wow. The audience, I don't have to explain that to anybody. It's just amazing. And I just don't quite get why Francis isn't enjoying this tour like he is. I mean, he's playing wickedly. I mean, he's, some of those riffs back from the 70s, he's still got them all there, And in my book, he's playing the best guitar he's played for years, last year and this year. And if I may say so, I mean, the same goes for myself. I've upped my game, and you're really on it. And to me, it's just a turn on to be up there. And I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. I mean, I'd like to take it to Australia and see what happened out there. Then maybe give it a couple of years break and then bring it back to Europe again, Because now people have seen the show in Europe and loved it. I'm sure there's another tour there. I would love to think there is. I would love to do another tour, but whether it'll happen, I don't know.
Is it just Ellen's health, you think, that is the factor which might make you think again about going on tour?
Well, I mean, certainly that would have to be reviewed before we went out again, I mean, we know a lot more about it now, in terms of, getting therapists in every day, massaging him, pounding him, taping him up, I mean, it depends how his health is in another year, another 2 years' time. I certainly think he's slightly more fragile this year than he was last year. And if that is going to continue, then all that I've just been saying would not be on. It couldn't happen, I don't think. But I have to give John his credit. I mean, he is playing out of his skin. He can't remember the endings, he can't remember the parts, but none of us can sometimes, Francis finished a verse early the other night on Caroline, of all things, right? And I'm still out the front giving it that one, and everybody else has finished. And they sort of look around, oh, sorry, was the end, was it? But that's the beauty of it in a way, you know, because it's kind of frayed around the edges, and that gives it great character. And boy, oh boy, when we do hit it and we're all in the pocket together, wow, it rocks.